Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode, the Season 4 finale of the Hired Geek podcast. So just doing a quick special episode to wrap up this season, as I like to do. 2020, obviously, pretty wild year, but definitely a lot to dig into with the podcast and personally, and I'm also just going to do a kind of a quick look ahead. Really just, it's helpful for me to kind of reflect and process and share with you everything that's going on and what kind of the highlights of this year were. So kind of just thinking about the podcast year in review. So this year, I'd hope to just kind of do episodes every other week, but with 2020 kind of having other plans, a lot of people reached out to be on the show, and they had something that they wanted to talk about and share. And so I was very happy to have a lot of different folks on the show. Definitely anchored around mostly education technology. That was a purposeful effort to kind of focus things a little bit more, but still kind of just higher ed at large. And a lot of different things were covered. Some of my favorite episodes were the ones with Sarah Horn from Re-Up Education. Just love the work that they're doing there. So happy to get the opportunity to talk more with her and learn about her story. Josie Alquist coming back to the show. She's always great to talk to. I love the work that she's doing. So glad that her book came out this year. Meg Sunga also coming back. She's just a wonderful energy to have on the show. So always great talking with her as well. And, very excited for her launching her new podcast. Kate Kirby, she's done some really interesting work. That was a little bit earlier on this year about campus reopening. So I'm just glad that I kind of, caught that on social media and was able to catch her to be on the show. Definitely was just a fascinating conversation. Jeff Young was just kind of a personal win for me just to be able to have him on the show. He's definitely a role model of mine with what he's doing over at EdSurge. And then lastly, Pew Charitable Trust. I feel like it was just a very kind of scholarly conversation that we usually don't have on the show. Things are just a little bit more laid back and casual. So really digging in with their report and their data and their expertise as an organization was just really, just a privilege for me. I just really appreciated having that space and time with them. So, it was more episodes than I thought I was going to be posting this year. Had more downloads, I think, because of that. And, just even then, I think it was definitely a hallmark year. I feel like we've got some good momentum to press onward. We got the merch store launched, which is super cool. Even myself, I'm very happy and excited to have, Hired Geek and Hired Geek podcast gear. So we'll keep that going. It's super easy and simple for us to maintain that. So it's just awesome to be able to have that opportunity to give folks an avenue to support the show and get some pretty cool swag at the same time. So we're going to do more things there to help make sure that we can keep the show going, have ways for people to support the show if they so choose. So keep an eye out for that. And on a more personal note, 2020 is definitely a big year for me because me and my wife had a baby. She was born towards the end of April. So as of the recording of this, she's approaching 8 months. So that was a big thing for this year. I mean, the pandemic really limited what was going on. So we weren't really missing that much with a newborn. And I was able to be here with her and helping my wife to take care of her. And it's just been an amazing journey. And, it's something with being, remote and doing a show like this and being able to kind of manage my own time, it's been that much more grateful for this avenue to still stay connected to the field and, have a job that's remote to be able to have some flexibility to balance everything in my life. So definitely, great things with the job. Got a promotion recently. So that gig has just been, a great anchor for our family. We're even thinking about buying a house early next year. So that could just be kind of the big, the big change for 2021. So definitely a lot of great stuff going on personally. Certainly, a lot of trips and things didn't happen because of everything happening all over the world. So that was definitely a bummer, but definitely gotten a little bit more reading done. Definitely I've gotten into audiobooks, so that's definitely been a big help. And then just been, trying to take it easy and take care of myself and just bide my time and my energy for what is to come in 2021. So with all of that, looking ahead, still aiming to mostly do episodes at least every other week. I'm sure we'll have a lot more bonus episodes as we've kind of gotten that momentum going this year. The season 5 premiere, just as kind of a teaser, will be on January 6th. 2021. That'll be the first premiere episode, similar to this one, just kind of setting the tone with what we've prepared, teasing out some of the episodes that we'll have coming out then. And, really just hoping that 2021 can be a reset for getting out to more conferences as well to keep spreading the good word about the show. I had high hopes for doing that in 2020, but really wasn't anything other than some different virtual conferences. But, as somebody who works from home and works remotely, I do really relish the opportunities to go out to a conference and go out to events in person. So I've kind of been still holding off on that a bit and hoping to get out as much as I can, even maybe for some virtual stuff, because, it's about due time. So any new platforms I can get out to just talk about the things that I'm interested in would be helpful. One in particular that folks who follow me might have seen is about South by Southwest EDU, which I was poised to present at, on ground in person in Austin last year. That was one of the first big casualties of the pandemic, which I was super bummed about. I was going to do a live podcast recording about esports, collegiate esports in particular. So that did not happen. I was hoping to have that episode able to share on the podcast. So still haven't really done an episode focus on that recently, but I'm definitely hoping to get to that next year and hoping to at least do a virtual presentation for South by Southwest EDU 2021. So fingers crossed for that. Probably be hearing about that very soon. But, 2020, all things considered, for me, the year was fine. Definitely dealt with a little bit more anxiety with everything going on and just trying to do my best to manage that, give to causes and organizations that I care about, to try to put more good out into the world, supporting people getting out to vote. It was reassuring to see just a record turnout for that. And, it's just been a very hard year. And I'm just trying to always find those silver linings that I can and really just be plugged in, nuanced understanding of what's going on, be informed, and be kind of living out my values every day as much as I can. So hoping to take that energy into the future. And as always, just appreciate everybody so much for listening and supporting the show, boosting it up, reviewing it, all that good stuff. So more great stuff to come next year. This is the end of season 4 of the podcast. Obviously, the whole library there for you to listen and to share out with others. So feel free to catch up on anything that you might have missed and look forward to season 5 coming out on January 6th. So have a good rest of 2020, and I'll see you next year. Thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Higher Ed Geek podcast.